Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Micaela, and today I'd like to talk about a very basic, one of the most basic foods that you can find in Japan. Onigiri desu! That's right, Japanese onigiri. Japanese onigiri are a very traditional snack and a great source of energy for when you're on the go and you don't have time to actually sit down and eat. A common misconception is that onigiri is also sushi. While onigiri is also rice, seaweed, and then filling, it is actually not sushi. The difference between onigiri and sushi is the type of rice. Sushi uses vinegared rice, and onigiri uses plain or salted rice. Onigiri can be found in convenience stores, in supermarkets, and there are even specialty shops that specialize in selling only onigiri, like different types of really special onigiri, delicious onigiri, I don't know. I've never gone, but they exist. But I found as a foreigner, when I first came to Japan, there were two major challenges that I faced when buying Japanese onigiri. One of the first problems that I had was that I could not, for the life of me, read or understand what these kanji were, so I had no idea what was inside the onigiri. Some onigiri, especially non-traditional types, will have photos on the cover so it's easier to understand, but more often than not, the traditional types of onigiri are just words on a package, so if you don't know what's inside, it can be kind of difficult to buy them. The second problem I had was that I had no idea how to open these. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to open an onigiri, it can be a very frustrating experience. In order to preserve the freshness and the crunchiness of the seaweed, this package has been specially designed to keep the rice and the seaweed separated until you open and eat it. Therefore, it can be a little bit tricky to open. But I will walk you through it right now, so hopefully by the time you have your first onigiri, you will be the level 1 master pro of onigiri. Not that there's a test or certification or anything, but you know, there might be one day, and when there is, the master, it will be you. This is one of the very basic onigiris. This one is sea chicken mayonnaise. Sea chicken mayonnaise. Sea chicken is the name for tuna flakes in Japan, so sea chicken mayonnaise is tuna flakes and mayonnaise. Sounds simple, right? Now let's learn how to open it. Although it's marked in kanji, you can see that there is a 1, a 2, and a 3 labeled on the onigiri package. First, we're gonna start by pulling down number 1. And it's gonna go all the way back. Now we're left with 2 and 3, and these are really simple. You just have to pull. And there we have it, a nice crisp crunchy onigiri rice ball. This is sea chicken and mayonnaise onigiri. Not bad, right? It's mostly rice and seaweed with a little bit of filling on the inside. Next we have kishu nan kobai. The only kanji that you really need to remember here is this one, which means ume. You can more or less expect that it's going to be salty and sour. So you can see on the inside of this one, it's kind of like a jam. It's very sour and salty, and I didn't really like it at first, but I really find that eating ume in the summer helps beat summer fatigue. It stops you from getting like really tired and worn out. Next we have hidaka kombu, and the important kanji to remember here is these two, kombu, which means kelp. Hidaka is a place in Hokkaido, I believe. So the filling in this onigiri will be kelp. Let's take a look. I don't know if you can see, but there's definitely some seaweed action going on up in here. And it's very soft and chewy, and it has a very sweet taste. I would say the sauce gives it a very sweet, saucy taste. If you're into that and you don't want to eat fish, this might be a good choice for you. Next we have Karashi takana. And takana is something that I've always had trouble explaining to my Canadian friends because we don't eat it in Canada. But if you look it up online, it says it's mustard leaf, but it's just a very leafy vegetable similar to other leafy vegetables. And they use it a lot in cooking here in Japan. Karashi is another really common kanji that you should probably learn because it means spicy. Any type of food that starts with karashi is probably going to be a little bit spicy. So you can see it is a little bit leafy. I would say it has the consistency of spinach, but it is spicy. It's a little bit more spicy than you would expect. This one is called benizake, and this is usually written either as benizake or sake, and this is salmon fish flakes. This is also very common and not too frightening to eat. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Salmon flakes, cool. And finally, one of the more common ones, especially here in Kyushu, is karashi. It's that kanji again, karashi mentaiko. And mentaiko is a type of fish eggs. And it's very popular, especially here in Fukuoka. I've actually made a video about it before in the past. It looks very similar to the salmon one, but this one definitely has more of a fishy, definitive fishy taste and a little bit of a bite because it is spicy. But it's really good. So these are some of the basic types of traditional Japanese onigiri. But aside from that, depending on the season and depending on what's popular, you might find other types of onigiri available for limited times as well, such as pork and kimchi onigiri. This one is packaged and already comes wrapped in seaweed, so you don't need to figure out how to open it. Yakisake harami, which is one of my favorites. It's usually a whole cut of harami salmon inside the onigiri, not the flakes, but like an entire piece of fish. So as I mentioned before, onigiri are a great source of energy, and not only that, but they're really cheap. I know that when I first came to Japan and I was living on a budget, it was really hard to, you know, eat good food, eat traditional Japanese food on the cheap. You will usually find them costing between 100 to 200 yen. This one's 121 yen, 130 yen, so $1.30. And when you have school, when you have work, when you don't have a lot of time to sit down and eat, onigiri can be a lifesaver. So don't be afraid to be adventurous and have fun. Let me know what your favorite onigiri is down in the comments, and I will talk to you soon. Yep. Bye!